Hey everybody, it's August 16th and it's time for the next chili plant update. August has been very nice. We've had some really hot weather and it's been pretty dry, so nothing's been overwatered and the plants are really starting to bounce back and looking much better. We're getting a lot of pods and quite a few ripe ones too, so get right into it. First up, real quick, the sweet pickle peppers still producing like crazy and they still look amazing. Alright, that's 1 and 2. And on to the super hots. We're going to get into a little bit of phenotypes today because there's a lot of variation in some of the plants. First up, the devil's horn. Okay, so we'll start with the ripe one. You know, it's really boot-shaped, long, skinny at the end, really bumpy, gnarly looking. And a majority of the pods on this plant look like that. Some of them are straight like that with a little bit of curve, but a lot of them on this really do resemble boots. Okay. And there's some up there. And more back there. So yeah, those aren't, that's a different plant. Anyway. That's the first devil's horn. In my opinion, that's not the true phenotype. And we'll get to the second one, which I believe has the true phenotype of the devil's horn. Okay. One that's ripening here. It's kind of pushing a tail. Now, these get very fat tails at the base, and they go off to the side. Yeah, get a better example. This one. Okay, so the tail comes out and then it points off to the side like that. And I believe that's what the true phenotype of the devil's horn is supposed to be. You know, in my mind, you're thinking devil's horn, you flip this upside down, that's like a gnarly looking horn, you know. So, really cool looking pods. These things are supposed to be like wicked hot and actually pretty nasty tasting from what I hear. Like the most extreme floral tasting pod. Very bitter and not good tasting. They said to use it for extract only. But anyway, yeah, that's what all these cool looking tails coming out to the side. I think that's I'll be saving seeds from those because those look like the true phenotype to me. Alright, here's some more down there. They'll come up the back side. And that's it. Next up we have the devil's brain. These things are really, really good producers, okay? So let's just start back there on that little branch and then we'll just pan over. Okay. I love how these pods look, like super wrinkly, bumpy skin. None that are fully ripe yet. I have some that are starting to ripen. But just look at the amount of pods on this plant. This plant's maybe just over a foot tall and it's just loaded down with pods, alright? So, a close up, if I can get it to focus on the pod. Very bumpy, wrinkly skin. Very cool. Next one here. This is the ripest one I've got so far. It's just got a nub tail on it. Just getting that nice orange color. It's a different orange than the other ones are, really, so I don't know what color this is going to be when it fully ripens. I don't know if it's going to be like a dark red or a cherry red or what, but regardless, these pods look amazing. Alright. Again, plant's just loaded down. And there we go. Oh, that little one. It's getting some more over on that little branch too. So, all right, and then the last of the new Devil's Trio, the Devil's Heart. Got the yellow leaf here, and another one. Thought I got all those today. So the Devil's Heart. These things are all over the place. I don't even know what the true phenotype is supposed to be, but there's some pods that they're very interesting looking. Like this, they're getting these tails that are just like nub tails. All right. Like that. But then some, if I can get this one, the top half of that, it's almost like how a butch tea is, kinda. That's the other variation that I've seen on them. So it's between those two, the nubtails and then that kind of funky mushroom shape on the top half. The color on these at ripening, it's just amazing. It's really, really cool seeing the transition from green to just really dark red. Really cool pods. All right. So we'll just do a little cross shot here. This one, it has quite a few pods on it. I think we'll be getting a lot more by early September, hopefully. That's also a pretty cool looking one. All right, and then the next one. All right, now, so we start with nubtail, all right? Just a weird looking pod. And then this one, really wide base there before the tail. It's almost flat around there too. It gets sucked up a little bit into a nubtail. And then this one's almost got a pointed tail. So the variations on these plants, like I said, everywhere. Again, these ones are really light skinned and they're putting out like crazy. All right, a couple ripe ones in there. A really nice cherry red color almost. Ah, mosquitoes are coming out. I better hurry up. Next up, red devil's tongue. Okay, one's been around for a while, so you know, just kind of boot shaped, and these are really putting out. Oh, that's a different one there. Look at that. Sides are all caved in. And there's a bunch of pods hiding in this plant. Like the same color as the leaves. Alright, so that's the red devil's tongue. Next up, the yellow devil's tongue. This is the top one. Had to be staked. If we do a bird's eye and you kind of look at this side of the bucket, you know, a huge portion of the plant is off to that side and the whole plant was starting to lean over the edge, so I kind of gently pulled it back and staked it in. So this one started potting up later than the others because it had to catch up from being topped, but it's still got quite a few. There's a bunch there, somewhere over there, and then let me squeeze over to the other side, around here. Okay, and we have some pretty good bunches of pods in here too. Right, that's the yellow devil's tongue. Since we're out here, we'll just do this. This is the tall reaper. Doing pretty well. The pods are really, there's a lot of good looking ones, but then at the same time there's some that don't, they didn't get the tails. This one kind of has a tail. The best looking one so far on this plant is going to be that guy right there. Okay, nice tail, nice shape. That's the kind of pod I'll be saving the seeds from. All right. So, yeah, we've got quite a few pods on here. Some really cool looking ones. Let's get back over to the other side. We have the shorter one. All right, this one has some ripe ones on it. And they look nothing like reapers. Almost smooth skin too. But then you come up here, and there we go. Those look like reapers. All right. And get this side. There's another ripening one down there. That doesn't really look like a reaper either. So, okay, so that's the reapers. Next up, the peach 7 pots. Now this one, the pods resemble like orange halves. Right there. One ripe one. There's another one. And a few more. So I don't know what's up with these ones, but it does have a lot of pods. I mean, these branches are getting pretty loaded. All right. And that one's really compact too. That's one of the smaller plants of all of them. Next up, the other Heat 7 pot. Again, pretty good pod density in there. And the one that's ripening, this is more of a peach color. All right. Much lighter skin color. A little bit longer of a pod too, compared to the other one that looks like halves. The weird thing is, these came from the same seed packet, so it might be accidental cross or something. Next up, this is a 7-pot Jaguana. I don't even know what these pods are gonna look like. They were sent in from a buddy of mine. So, this is getting a lot of pods on it. Oh, fatty pods. I know there's another big one over here too. Yeah, it's a pretty big one. So yeah, is that a bunch or what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pods right here. Cool. And there's the other side. Okay. And then we have Bubblegum 7-pot is finally putting out some pods for me. This is pretty, actually I think this might be the tallest plant. If we, yeah, it's a bit taller than the Reaper, and the Reaper was the tallest. Okay, so anyway, these things are true to form. Calyx is split wide open on the tops. Nice skin texture, nice little bump on the bottom. Let's focus in. There we go. So yeah, there's probably a couple dozen pods on here, not as many as some of the others, but still doing pretty well. Alright. They've got some growing to do though. Alright, and now the two Moruga scorpions. This one, it's a cross from something. Maybe one of you can tell me what this Moruga is crossed with. Some are elongated, and they kind of have a resemblance of a tail. That and that. This one's got a little tail coming off. This one's kind of sucked in. These things are all over the place. Here's another one. But let me show you the ripe one and the size of it, which I think I might save some seeds from. This pod's probably the biggest super hot chili I've ever grown. I have an electric scale coming in the mail for this year for sauce making, so I am definitely going to weigh this thing. I mean, that's a pretty big pod. So it's Moruga X something, and I don't know what. But very cool. And again, this came from the same seed packet as the one next to it, and the fact that this is a cross doesn't bother me one bit. It's actually very cool. All right, so next up, we have one ripe one. This is just a regular, it's not the phenotype. But then if you get up higher to some of the newer chilies, round bumpy skin, sucked in on the bottom. Very, very Moruga-like. That one's not. Yeah. Most of them on this plant are the shape of a Moruga. Just sucked in bottom. Alright. So this one is in fact a good phenotype. It's a little baby one. Here's the one that's ripening. Sucked in bottom. Nice color on that. So yeah, you know, this video took a little bit longer, but I really wanted to go over the phenotypes, and you know, I didn't want people saying, well, those are the same kind of peppers, why do they look completely different? So I just wanted to go over that. I'm happy with the progress so far. We still have another month and a half of decent, another month of good growing, and then after that it's kind of iffy, so we'll see. We'll just have to wait and and see what the weather decides to do. The last thing, I guess we'll check them out. The Galapagos, they haven't done anything in like 3 months. They almost died at the beginning of the season. I think it's because we had record rainfall this year. About killed them. And now they never really bounced back. This one's got some pods on it. There's one there. There. Alright. Just not a very happy looking plant. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pods right there, so 6. And that's got nothing. That has a single little flower right there. That's all it's got. So that's it, guys. Another couple weeks and we'll do another update. If they decide to ripen before then, a large amount of pods decide to ripen before then, I'll do another update. Maybe do a small harvest, maybe do a tasting. I thought about trying out that large Moruga, but that scares the hell out of me. Think about eating that. That's a lot of chili. So yeah, guys, I will see you next time.